is going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
This is Duck Insider.
These are good problems to have, right? So much success that you have more than one place to be.
Mabry, touchdown! Oregon!
Off the dribble, launches, and hits the three! Oregon leads!
What a great opportunity it is to be able to play at the University of Oregon.
I'm just incredibly proud to be a part of something like this.
She wants another three. Oh, three in a row!
Swing and a miss! Oregon is headed to the Super Regional!
Fans being out there making this a great impact.
We are so privileged and so fortunate. We get to see all these young people. We get to see this incredible growth, which is what college is all about.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck Athletics.
What a great week it was around the University of Oregon, but particularly at Autzen Stadium on a Friday this weekend. The first taste of the Big Ten here at home at Autzen Stadium for me, for all the Duck fans. It was absolutely electric. Welcome into Duck Insider here in the Country Financial Studio. Duck Insider brought to you by OnPoint Community Credit Union. I'm Ryan Milano. I'll take you through today's show. And it really was. It felt like a Big Ten physical football game where Oregon set the tone at Autzen Stadium on Friday. And what was even more exciting for me was because Oregon played on a Friday, we all got to experience the absolute chaos that was the college football Saturday around the country. It means a little bit more taking care of business when you see some top 10, top 12, top 15 teams around the country all struggle. Some of them lost over the weekend on Saturday. I was sitting on my couch. I got to experience it all. It was actually really refreshing to have a Saturday not at Autzen Stadium where you could take in everything else that was going on. And all of a sudden, after all the chaos that went down on Saturday, Oregon finds themselves as the number 3 team in the country, just where Oregon sat when the season started in the AP poll. Taking care of business and getting wins, it always means more, and it's always great to learn from a win instead of a loss. We'll hear from Coach Lanning, where there are still some things to learn and clean up upon after the game against Michigan State. We'll also hear from the quarterback, Dillon Gabriel, some more student athletes, Oregon soccer head coach Graeme Abel, all coming up on the program because Oregon, they were set on Michigan State. Their eyes were focused. They knew this was going to be a tough challenge. But now the page turns. And the page doesn't just turn for Oregon football, it turns for all of the teams around the athletic department because we are heading into mighty big week. That's what we are deeming this week because not only is football at home, not only is volleyball at home, not only is soccer at home, but also cross country's at home. This is the slate we have for this week. It is mighty big week around here at the University of Oregon. On Wednesday, Oregon volleyball kicks it off. They have a home match against USC at Matthew Knight Arena Wednesday. Then on Thursday, Oregon soccer in what is going to be their final home series of the season. They kick off that homestand on Thursday at 6:30 p.m. at Pape Field against Michigan State. That is the pink game. By the way, you guys did such a tremendous job in terms of stomping out cancer with Oregon against Michigan State. We had it 2 weeks back with Oregon volleyball supporting Team Ollie, and now the pink game for Oregon soccer as the Ducks on the pitch get involved in their cancer fighting efforts. Across the board, great job, Oregon, with the pink game for Oregon soccer coming up in mighty big week on 6:30 on Thursday. Then for cross country, keeps it going through Friday. That at 11:15 a.m. at the Pine Ridge Golf Club, where Oregon cross country will get involved. Another home meet for the Ducks that are running. Then also College Game Day will be in town for the top 3 matchup between Oregon and Ohio State. 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. on the Lillis Quad. You might have to get there on Friday night if you want to find a spot. It's going to be fun out there on the Lillis Quad. Then it's followed up by the football game Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Oregon Sports Network pregame show will start at 2:30. That game is televised on NBC. On Sunday, closing out Mighty Big Week, it is a doubleheader where Oregon volleyball plays Washington at 1 o'clock at MKA. And over on this side of the river, it's senior day for Oregon soccer against Michigan at 6:30 p.m. at Pape Field. So you've got volleyball, soccer, cross country, game day, football, volleyball, soccer. You got it all. Softball even has some fall ball on Sunday afternoon as well. There's so much going on around the university this week, and there is so much to get into. And especially for the Oregon football team, the Ducks took care of business. They did not focus on this game against Ohio State. It was a week-by-week focus on playing Oregon, get the job done, and beat your opponent. But now it's here, Oregon versus Ohio State. But first, the Ducks had to take care of business on a Friday this weekend. Coach Dan Lanning, he broke down the keys and what went well for Oregon, as well as some things to continue to improve on for the Ducks. But Oregon, a big win over Michigan State on Friday. Let's hear from the coach, Dan Lanning, on his thoughts.
All right, our fans were absolutely awesome tonight. I think anytime that you can, play a physical game like that and control the rushing attack on both sides of the ball, it's going to create success. Clean relatively on special teams play, really good on third down. Still some moments there for growth. In the red zone, we got to come away with points. We got to go score. That didn't show up a couple times tonight, and it could hurt you later on in the season. So that's something we'll definitely attack moving forward this year. But overall, proud of our guys' performance and the growth.
Run game was great throughout. Kind of what allowed Jordan and the offense to move it so well there.
Yeah, I think our offensive staff had a really great plan, of understanding where we wanted to be able to attack in the run game. And I thought our offensive line, blocked well. And then we were able to block well at the second level as well. And not going down on first contact. I think you saw that multiple times from Jordan tonight, where he got hit and he continued to push for extra yards.
If you could just speak to the defensive performance the last 2 weeks, really, and Jordan Burch really being a game wrecker, but a lot of other guys contributing as well.
Yeah, I just think ultimately that's our standard, right? That we want to be able to perform week in and week out, regardless of opponent. There's a way that you want to go out there and play defense. We knew that they had an attack that was tough to be able to stop. And, once we were able to kind of secure the run game, it made them play a little bit left-handed.
When Dillon has those 2 interceptions, as a veteran player, what do you do on the sideline with him? Do you pull him aside? Do you kind of let him go through it? What do you do? How do you handle that?
We had a conversation, but that's a moment to reset. This guy's played a lot of snaps. Again, it's not easy to play college football, but timing's so important. Understanding where we're at on the field is so important. I think those will be great growth moments for Dillon.
From the time he arrived, you guys had high expectations of Jordan Burch and thought that he could be a double-digit sack guy. What's allowing him to wreak this level of havoc and start reaching his potential, Dan?
Well, he's playing with great violence, and he's the kind of person that shouldn't be blocked one-on-one, and we're doing a good job defensively of creating one-on-one opportunities for him, and he's doing a good job of taking advantage of those. He'd be the first one to tell you that, great rush starts with great coverage. It starts with other guys on the front, that do a great job rushing that makes him have a one-on-one. So he's been able to take advantage of those, and that's what we expect from Jordan.
Tez had 10 catches tonight, which brought his season average up to 8.6. What is it about the way he plays that makes him so consistently dependable?
Yeah, I think one, our offensive staff does an unbelievable job of moving him around, so it's hard to get a beat on where Tez is going to be at on any given play, with the movements and motions that we use. And then he's just an elusive player. He's hard to cover. He's got great burst, and he's very consistent. From that, he's become, a safety net, in a lot of ways for our offense and the way he's able to get open.
I know you had said that you had seen some things that you guys could continue to improve on, but would you say that this was still your most would you say that this was your most complete game so far this season?
Yeah, probably in a lot of ways it was. Like I said, there's certainly some moments for growth and some opportunities that you can't let slip away that we got to be able to take advantage of. But overall, as a team, I thought we played well.
I know this game meant a little bit more to you and your family. Did you ever look up in the stands at all tonight? Was there ever a moment where you just felt a little bit more emotional, maybe because of that?
Yeah, I'd be lying if I said I didn't. This game was definitely special for a lot of people. Anybody that's been affected by cancer, I couldn't help but notice the people ringing the bell out there on the field, and I remember that moment and what it felt like. So it's certainly special for our family, certainly special for a lot of people out there tonight.
Can you describe just the impact Caldwell's having up front. Plays a position sometimes doesn't register any sacks, but we know stats, but we know he's doing more than that.
Yeah, if anybody's watching film, they know that Jamari's affecting the game, right? He's an impactful player. He requires 2 hats on him almost at all times. He's playing with great effort, so I'm really proud of Jamari's performance and his growth so far this season.
Yeah, 50-yard kick was the first for an Oregon kicker, I think, in like 15 years. What went into that? And I guess Andrew's a guy we haven't seen for a while, and maybe give us some insights into his story.
Yeah, I mean, I told him after the play. I didn't want to tell him before, but this is exactly what we did. We had to do this period we call red zone lockout, and we almost created the exact same kick earlier in practice this week, and he nailed it. So for him to have the opportunity to be able to attack that, he's got a big leg. I thought that was really a big positive for him, and when he's healthy, he can definitely be a guy that helps our team.
Early in the game when emotions are running high and then you get a turnover on one end followed by a turnover on the other, what do you tell your guys when the emotions are high like that to keep them reset almost?
Next play, right? Next play. It's the most important play. Your ability to go from one play to the next is really important. I thought our guys did that tonight.
Hey, Coach, how long do you savor this win before you turn your attention now to Saturday next week?
Right around till midnight, right? We'll focus on putting this game to bed and really evaluating and grading it early in the morning tomorrow, and then move on to our next opponent.
Did you get a chance to see that Trishawn Holden catch the first half, and any reaction to that, what he did?
I'm glad he caught it. Yeah, I was glad he caught it. It was impressive. Would have loved it if he caught it with his feet standing up, so he could keep running. But, big-time players make big-time plays.
No, you wanted more explosive runs. Does 6 10-plus yarders with the 41-yarder, does that suffice? Or do you still, who wouldn't want more 20s? But
yeah, I'll take more. I thought we ran the ball effectively tonight, and that's something we have to continue to do to be, a great team.
The offensive line did a really good job at picking up blitzes. There's one play in particular where Poncho slid from center to pick up a blitzing nickel. What did you like in terms of their ability to keep Dillon upright tonight?
Well, more than anything, after that play was over with, I loved hearing the communication from the offensive line. When you start getting into some exotic pressures like we saw a few tonight, and the ability to recognize that he's free and overlap in that situation is a big-time play by him. So for us to play great football, we have to stay out of negative plays. That was a great situation there where he was able to do that.
Last drive before half, the touchdown, how important was that just for momentum for you guys and for the momentum of this game?
Yeah, I think it was really critical just in a lot of ways. One, knowing that they're going to come back with the ball out of half, right? And it changes kind of the level of the game, where we're at in the game in that moment to, create that extra score.
Coach, we saw Marion Winston kind of kick down into a defensive tackle as a pass rusher a lot in this game. Just kind of what makes him such a unique athlete to, be able to kind of rush from that spot as, a typical off-ball linebacker? Yeah,
just one, that's something he's done consistently for us throughout the year. We were able to do it on some second and long opportunities in this game, but he's a guy that, consistently does his job and executes at a high level and makes the players around him play better. And he's one of our better interior rushers with his athleticism at times.
Tatum led the game with 7 tackles, and he was just very active and involved like he has been all year. What's it been like to see him progress as a sophomore?
Yeah, I just wish you guys could come watch him practice on Tuesday, right, or Wednesday. This guy plays with unbelievable effort all the time. He's quiet, out there on the field, but he executes at a really high level. I think that same thing showed up tonight.
You talked about it, kind of red zone issues. What are some things that, I guess you have to check out the film and tell us that, but what are some things that kind of got in the way there?
I think just timing. The last 2 weeks, those have been later balls, and we have to do a better job, with that of, getting the ball out in time and knowing that we already have points in those situations.
The offense generated a lot of attention, understandably, in the offseason, Dan, but it seems like so far the identity of this team might be on the defensive end, particularly with how dominant you guys have been the last couple of weeks. Is that reflective? Do you think that that's what the identity of this team could be on the defensive side of the ball this season?
Well, I think there's going to be moments within this season that both sides are going to have to lift each other up, and you want to be able to play complementary football. At times we certainly play great defense, and at times we play great offense. For us to be who we want to be, we got to be able to do that across the board in special teams, offense, and defense. So we always talk about at some moment you might have to put each other on each other's back, and that showed up a couple times in this game. But it'll be something that's going to continue throughout the season if we want to be a great team.
Coach, your defense played shutout tonight, and going into Ohio State, it's going to be a very tough game. I want to understand how the defense adjusted to playing in this Big Ten and playing with teams that are known for rushing the ball, and what your plan is continuing forward.
Yeah, ultimately, I've said this before, obviously the Big Ten is an elite conference and a special one that we get to be a part of, but winning football is winning football regardless of conference, right? And if you're able to control the run game on both sides of the ball, that's going to equate to wins a lot of times.
Limited sample size. You need to watch the tape, I know. What is your instant takeaways from Dante Moore and some of the young guys that got in late in that game?
Well, you said it. I got to be able to go watch the tape. But he's what he shows on the game field is the same things that we're able to see in practice. I think he was able to operate cleanly tonight, but want to be able to go out and watch the tape and see what I can pick from that.
Next Saturday against Ohio State is going to be maybe the most anticipated game played here at Autzen ever. How do you feel like your team managed not looking ahead to that the last 4 weeks, and now how do you manage that emotion going into this one?
Well, they've done a really good job of not listening to you guys, right? But finally, you guys can talk about it. We're finally there, right? We're going to play them now. So it's a great team. Obviously, they do a lot of things. There's a reason they're one of the best teams in the country, so it's going to be a great challenge for us, and our fans are going to have to show up and be phenomenal in that one.
Dillon obviously had some mistakes tonight, but what's it like to see him take a huge hit like that and then come right back in, drop his shoulder, and get in the end zone by himself?
Yeah, I mean, he's a tough kid, man. You saw it tonight. Had the wind knocked out of him a little bit on that play, and he was ready to run off the field. I said, hey, hang tight. Let's buy us some time, make sure we can get our next play call ready to go. So he probably could have ran off a lot earlier, but, we had like a Rod Tidwell moment, or isn't that who it is, from Jerry Maguire, right? I mean, I said, hang tight. Let's get our next play call figured out first. So Dillon's a tough kid, did a really good job.
With how enormous next weekend is, how from a recruiting standpoint, Dan, at what point do you almost put a cap in terms of how many recruits do you want to get here? Where of course you want as much as possible, but of course you don't want it to be almost too much to where it's unmanageable.
I think the thing that we want great players to be here, and there will be certainly some great players here next week. But the important thing is the game, right? And we talk about play the game, not the occasion. That's going to be part of it for us. The best thing we can do for this football team is go play a great game, and the recruiting will help kind of take care of itself when you do a good job of that.
That's Dan Lanning, his post-game reactions after Oregon's 31-10 win over Michigan State, brought to you by the Willamette Valley Cancer Institute and Research Center, better cancer care close to home. You heard Dan Lanning mention slightly flipping the page to next week and what he expects from the fans next week. Well, our own Dusty Hara caught up with him after the game on the post-game show, and Coach Lanning said, you come into the parking lots, start screaming when you get through the gates, and don't stop screaming until the game's over. That is the message for fans, and that's the goal. Come in screaming. You might lose your voice. That's fine. That's the point of being at Autzen Stadium. Don't stop screaming until the game's over. That's what's coming up next week as Oregon plays against Ohio State, a top 3 matchup college game day in town as well. Quarterback Dillon Gabriel, he's been a part of some big-time games. We get his reactions from the post-game against Michigan State, as well as starting to turn the tides a little bit to this week against Ohio State. Quarterback's reactions when we return on Duck Inside on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
Duck Insider continues after this timeout on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
This message is for Shauna, my mom who just finished her high school diploma. I wanted to say I'm so proud of you for finishing school. You taught me it's never too late to achieve your dreams. I hope to make you as proud as you have made me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle.
Or forget extra diapers.
You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never, ever become a minivan mom. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, know it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I'm coming home to the place that I remember, back to the land of my first love. Would you spread wide?
Back here in the Country Financial Studio on Duck Insider, brought to you by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Ryan Milano taking you through today's show. We just heard from the head coach. Now the quarterback, Dillon Gabriel. He had a pretty solid day on Friday against Michigan State, but 2 red zone interceptions, something that you heard Coach Lanning allude to. You'll hear Dillon talk about, frankly, things that he has to clean up. After those 2 interceptions, he played a pretty darn good football game and led Oregon to a victory and kept things from getting tight in that football game. Extended out the lead, leaned on the rushing attack, led the offense, all things that a quarterback needs to do to be successful. Dillon Gabriel, his assessment on his performance on Friday. Let's hear from the QB.
A couple of throws in the first half. How do you mentally bounce back from that and get yourself back in the game?
Yeah, I about did everything in my career. Not saying everything, but something similar. Don't necessarily like it one bit, but just was forcing things early and things that need to be corrected. But we talk about playing the next play and having to respond. There's no option. You go back out there and you got to keep swinging. So that's what I kept doing.
What kind of got in the offense's way in the red zone? Not even interceptions included, but it just seemed like you guys had a harder time moving the ball when you got closer.
Yeah, just I think something we need to continue to emphasize. I think at times we're a block away or a catch and a throw away from turning it into points. I think a lot of it, we for sure get 3 in that situation, but would love to get 7. Just things we need to continue to look at and get better at. But it starts with me. That's what I say. I touch the ball every single play, and got to put us in a better situation. So we can, like that one last drive, we were able to go for it on 2 4th downs and go get it. But that's based on great ball security and having 4 opportunities, really 8 to go score.
Because they stand out in such sharp contrast, Dillon. You hadn't had an interception in the red zone in a couple of years.
Yep.
Now you've got as many in these last 2 weeks as you did your freshman season.
Yep.
Are you just trying too hard? Are you putting too much on yourself in some of these spots because it's just so uncharacteristic?
Yeah. I would not say that. I just think that at times, my eyes get bigger than my stomach, in the red zone. And like I said, there's things that I've continued to learn, but obviously God's want to continue to teach me the lesson, and I keep making that decision. So at a certain point, there's just things you got to get better at and continue to emphasize. But, you look at, those 2 drives, how different of a game it'll be. And that's what we're striving for, that those 5 to 10 plays that could be the difference of the game. Thank God we have a great defense. Thank God our O-line and our running backs were running really well. But like I said, in the tight games and in games that you need to be 100% scoring in the red zone, you can't have things happen like that.
After you take that big hit in the first half and then coming back so quickly and scoring yourself, how do you amp yourself up or get your head in the right mindset to go race to the pylon and get low and drop your shoulder after that hit?
Yeah, like I said, I've played a lot of football. Big hits are natural, and it's a physical game and things you go through. But like I said, you got to keep swinging. It don't stop. And the clock's continue to tick. So I got a job to do, and that's playing quarterback for our guys and doing it the right way. But being aggressive, that's throwing it and running it aggressively. I think that's something you got to have in college football, and it's belief and trust in one another, and then me to finish in that situation.
Touched on it briefly, just your thoughts on the offensive line, the run game. Why was it so successful, and what was the impact on the game, you feel like?
Yeah, I think schematically we had a lot of good things that put us in a good advantage. But I think up front, the knockback, something I can see from behind, in a really good way. But also just the 5 we have up there that we have extreme trust in. I think they've continued to get better every single game, and as we mesh together as a whole. But like I said, I think the combination schematically and then the guys, just having that mentality. And I'd be wrong to forget, Jordan and Noah just running a really aggressive. It really is a team effort. But when it's clicking in all cylinders, you can see how good it is. And the 5 to 10 plays is our strain to continue to get better. So that'll never end.
Yeah, Dillon, can you look ahead to this week and the opportunity that's ahead of you guys with Ohio State coming to town next week?
Yeah, great opportunity. I think it's a great opportunity because the Next and two great programs that have been known for playing good football. And it's things you look to as a young man in playing the game is those big time moments and great atmospheres. So super excited for it. We'll put this one to rest here tomorrow and go through it and dive into it, see how we can get better, and then it's full steam ahead.
You spoke about the offensive line and their performance. I wanted to ask specifically about Jordan in his game. I think 150 rushing yards at half. What, at least from your angle, was he doing specifically just to create all those yards?
He's got great vision. The guy's special. And I think he would say the same, the guys up front, creating the alleyways for him to work with. But when you're able to give him that space and then work on a third level defender, then he's able to do his thing, and make a move and get vertical. So that's just a testament to him and his work. But you see the 1-2 punch with him and Noah. I think that's special. And then, whenever I can finagle my way into the run game, I try. But I'll leave that to them.
You touched on it just a little bit before on the defense, but really at this point in the season, as you're heading into Big Ten play, how much pressure does that take off your shoulders when you have a defense that is, shutting out a team all the way until the fourth quarter?
Yeah, they're special and they've been playing their butt off, and thank God, right? Because I put them in two difficult situations, but I wouldn't say it's less pressure. I think it's just more of a motivator for me to, play at a high level and not let those guys down. I think that's the main thing for me, right? Playing my game and trying to contribute the way I can, so that when we're all gelling together, all three phases, it can be special. So, like I said, I think from every game there's a lot to look at and learn from, but. Even more so, the emphasis got to be, on those mistakes on my end.
When you got a guy like Jordan on a heater in the first half, over 150 yards, over 10 yards of carry, how does that give you guys confidence as an offense going into the second half?
Yeah, the run game's important. We definitely knew that early on, that was working, and it was a point of emphasis. But I think it just opens up a lot of things, and allows us to. Set things up, as the run goes. But, yeah, I think, anyone, who watches football, if you can run the football, at will in a great way, then, usually it ends with victory. So
You were just taking that big hit, but did you have a chance to see the catch from Trayshawn Holden? And did you, whether in real time or the replay, do you have any words for him after that?
I didn't get to see it in real time, unfortunately. I got to see it halfway there, and then, of course, the hit happened, but yeah, I watched it back on the tablet. But great play on his end. I saw him slip and make that catch. So great catch.
What allowed the pass to Evan to work in terms of the touchdown there? When obviously the two previous ones have been kind of similar parts of the field and didn't work.
Yeah, I think just ball placement. I think helped. And it's really close in a lot of ways, but regardless of really close, it's the difference, between catching it and not. So got to continue to put them in great position to finish and make plays, and they've continued to show that. So, I look myself in the mirror and try to get better so that they can be in great position to do so.
Dillon, can you speak on your connection with Tez so far to start the season?
Yeah, love Tez, love everything he represents, just as a person. So I can definitely get behind a guy like that. But, to second, his playing ability is special. And he showed that, for many years. But I just think all the work we've put in together, the throwing sessions, whether it's one-on-one as a group, Communication at a high level. A guy who's played a lot of ball as well. I had only good things to say about him, and we continue to find ways to create solutions to problems, and he's a great problem solver. So glad he's on my team.
Now that you're free to acknowledge the game that most everybody's been talking about for many, many months, just how much have you had a chance to look at this Ohio State defense in advance, even in the summer, Dillon, even if it's not during the season so far?
Yeah.
How much have you had a chance to see them, and are they the most talented defense that you've seen, perhaps even in your career?
Yeah, I think, naturally, as a guy who's played college football, you watch at times, whether it's in the hotel before the night before the game, or whenever it's on, depending on your time of game. But obviously a team that's extremely talented, have won in a matter of dominance, and I think it'll be a great challenge and a great opportunity for us, in front of our home crowd to play ball. But like I said, you dream for moments like these and games like this, and I think everyone's excited for it. So, like I said, you just look at what you can get better at, put this game to rest, and then, full steam ahead. So,
Dillon Gabriel, taking care of business, some things to clean up on. Now the eyes and the focus can shift to this week against Ohio State. Someone who also had a huge impact, pass rusher, Jordan Burch. Made life really difficult for Aiden Childs in that backfield for Michigan State. Hearing from the edge rusher when we return on Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear autumn leaves, you won't be covering roads alone this season. Take on fall in the powerful Toyota Tundra or tackle trails in a Tacoma. Head to Toyota.com for more info. Toyota, let's go places.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Dear autumn leaves, you won't be covering roads alone this season. Take on fall in the powerful Toyota Tundra or tackle trails in a Tacoma. Head to Toyota.com for more info. Toyota, let's go places.
Duck Insider, your home for the latest news on Oregon athletics on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
August was born 3 pounds, 9.8 ounces. When I first saw him, it was a whole range of emotions. There's stuff I still want to do. Being a young dad, it's not giving up. It's shifting. I looked through his eyes. I can envision the whole future with him already. To throw the first football to him, give him ice cream for the first time. My life is now devoted to his life.
Through all of fatherhood's firsts, never stop being a dad. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
You know you make me wanna kick my heels up and throw my hands up and throw my head back and come on now, so good to see you.
We're back here in the Country Financial Studio on Duck Insider, brought to you by OnPoint Community Credit Union. We just heard from the coach and the quarterback. Now someone who makes quarterbacks' lives pretty difficult. Jordan Burch. He not only made Aiden Child's life a really hard time on Friday, he did a good enough job to earn himself Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week. Not only Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week, which is the first for Oregon this year on the defensive side of the ball, but he also earned the Reese's Senior Bowl Co-Defensive Player of the Week for the best senior player on the defensive side in the country, and the Shrine Bowl Breakout Defensive Player of the Week. A career-high 2.5 sacks against the Spartans, while also finishing with 4 tackles and a fumble recovery. First Duck since 2007 to record at least 2.5 sacks at Autzen Stadium. Pretty good day for the guy on the edge. He had a lot of one-on-ones, and when he got in one-on-one, he made tackles pay. Jordan Burch, pretty good job getting to the quarterback. Let's hear his reactions post-game from Friday. Here is the defensive end, Jordan Burch.
How does it feel like right now where you're really delivering on your potential? You're doing what you're capable of on a week-to-week basis and starting to earn the attention and accolades that come with it.
Yeah, the feeling's great. It all comes with, preparation and listening to the coaches. I feel like if I did everything they said I could do, that's what shows on the field. So just, take it in coaching, believing I can do it.
What was working for you tonight in terms of your pass rush?
I was really going to power. The way he was setting, he was kind of opening up. So I was trying to go to power and engage the quarterback, help everybody else out. But he kind of fell into my hands a few times, so it was perfect for me.
Really the second week in a row that the defense has really kind of dominated the game. What's going on with you guys to make things work?
Probably our preparation, starting from Monday all the way to game day. If we're going to get a sack, we're going to get it throughout the week. So the game day will be easy, and everybody just honing in, doing their part throughout the week.
How big was that strip of Childs on that first drive just to kind of stop all the momentum in the tracks? They didn't do much of anything after that.
Yeah, that was pretty big. JC came up big on that. We really needed that. He was talking about it all week, trying to get a turnover. So, it fell right into my hands. So big props to him.
What's it being like part of this pass rush? You got Derek Harmon, Caldwell, and other guys on this line next to you.
Yeah, it's a fun group of guys. We always talk about what we can do, how we can get better every week. And then just seeing everybody on the field making plays is just the excitement brings. We just try to get after it every week, try to get better.
What was Derek like this week going against his old team? He said that he really wanted to beat them, so what was he like this week?
Yeah, he was hyped all week. We usually don't go out onto the field before the game. He was like, everybody get dressed, we're going out. So he wanted to, see his old team, get motivated, and he was ready all week.
What's it like playing next to Derek? Like, what does he bring to this team, personality? We see what we see on the field as a dominant player, but what does he bring to this team?
Energy. He talks a good bit, so we need that. Me, I'm not much of a talker, but he'll bring the energy, hype me up before the game. When we're on the field, he's trying to give me little motivational tips. So just having him around, makes everybody play better.
Earlier this week, Jonathan Smith, Michigan State's head coach, just was really impressed as a defensive head coach himself just by the Ducks defense. Your guys' performance against UCLA. When Ohio State takes a look at your film, what do you think? How do you think they're going to describe your defense heading into this week?
Physical defense, relentless effort, always around the ball at all times, not trying to give up anything easy. Everybody playing, to the standard and doing what they have to do.
Now that game is finally inside the Ohio State game, everyone's talking about preseason. What do you think this week is going to be like getting ready for that game back in front of this crowd?
Yeah, I think everybody just take it day by day. Get prepared, not try to do too much. It's the next opponent, but we're facing Oregon, so just trying to get after it. Try to get the dub on Saturday.
In terms of pass rush, do you think there's an unsung hero of that group right now?
Not yet. I feel like it'll come out soon, though.
Who do you think that would be?
Probably JC. What he does in practice, we're still waiting for that game for him to just, explode. But, y'all see it when it happens.
Jordan, whether you knew it or not, there's an NFL general manager in the building tonight. When you've had that kind of performance and a guy who could be drafting you 6 months from now is here, what does that mean to you?
I really don't try to think about it too much, as the season's going on, but I know that's big. I try to perform, as well as I can, so to help my draft stock, throughout Saturdays. So don't try to think about it too much. Just try to play.
Jordan Burch played. He played well on Friday. 2.5 sacks, fumble recovery, a few more tackles in there as well. He played well. He'll be part of the mighty big week where Oregon volleyball, cross country, soccer, football, all at home this week. A lot to break down. Switching gears to the soccer side of things with their head coach, Graeme Abel. It's going to be a mighty big week. Final home series of the year. Breaking it down when we return on Duck and Sat on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
This is Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
Back here inside the Country Financial Studio on Duck Insider, I'm Milano, joined by Oregon soccer coach Graeme Abel.
How we doing?
Coach, just how was the weekend on the road? Got down to Southern California. It was a little bit of just a one-off game this week, so a little bit of a different week. Just how was the week leading up to the game and then the trip itself?
It was good. We got some extra rest in, which was good. Travel was good. All those things, no issues there. Obviously, game was a tough one just in terms of didn't come out in the first half the way we wanted to, and then we got a little bit back into it second half. Obviously, going down to 10 players is tough. We were just talking about it off air, and just tough in our sport in terms of being able to rebound at that point.
I first want to talk about the atmosphere of the game. You played at Dignity Health. That's a professional soccer environment. What's it like to get out there and maybe get a taste for some of your players of what it's like at the next level in some of those facilities?
Yeah, I mean, I used to live there for like January. That's where we used to do our January camps. I used to be there for like a month in January, so it was familiar. It was nice to go back to familiar surroundings. And no, surface was great. It's where the second team play for the LA Galaxy out there. And they have some of the under 23, or they used to have some of the under 23 national team camps there as well. So great surface, nice facility. I think it's got a future Olympic facility as well with the velodrome and stuff there. So it's a beautiful setup. I think our football team practiced there when they went to the Rose Bowl a few years ago. So it's a really, really cool facility with great fields, nice stadium, tennis arena. They got all cool things there.
Do you coach there? Do you have like a spot like in the concourse or underneath at Dignity Health where you're like, yeah, this is where I used to take my lunch breaks?
No. We didn't go in the locker rooms underneath where we used to go. There used to be tons of celebrities there. Met Kobe Bryant there. Who was the MMA woman? It was really good. And Ronda Rousey. Yeah. I bumped into her in the hallway. Quickly got out of the way. But no, we used to stay down in Manhattan Beach and then travel into Dignity Health. StubHub it was called at the time for training.
Well, a cool environment, a talented team you went up against, and a lot of compete. It was a 1-0 game before Matty Goldberg went down with the red card.
Yeah.
Just what did you see on that red card? Just take me through that.
Yeah, they've got in behind us and. Ball's got between our back line and the goalkeeper, and it's one of those where once you make the decision to go, and Matty just wasn't able to get out the way in time, and the referee had no option but to pull out the red card. So unfortunate, but I thought we managed it well as a team. To be honest with you, I thought after we went down at 10 players, I thought we actually probably went about trying to get the ball back and probably created some of our better chances in the game with 10 players.
A lot of compete is what I saw. A team that was as talented as USC is, ranked inside of the top 10 in the RPI, down a player, and still able to compete and only let one go on the board after that red, right after it happened, and then not allow them to have too many offensive opportunities afterwards. What did you see from your team from the compete standpoint there?
Well, I thought we handled the adversity fine. I mean, we actually had a chance to go to 1-1 when not long after the red card. You get it to 1-1 at that point, and we like I said, we defended as well with 10 players in terms of trying to get the ball back as what we'd done with 11. So that was a little bit of a frustrating piece that we'll look at, and in terms of why that's the case. But no, happy about how we went about it, and certainly didn't. It's in those scenarios the goals can go in real quick in terms of when you go down to 10 players. But no, I thought we worked well and protected the goal well.
Liked the physicality piece of it. What were some things that you wish to clean up after this game against USC?
I would say that from a physical standpoint, in terms of once we created the moments where they played into areas where we wanted them to play into when they had the ball, we got to be a lot more physical in terms of as they play into those areas, winning the ball. Then once we won it, we gave away the ball too quickly. We gave away, after one or two passes, the ball was back in USC's hands, and we need to do a better job of, once we win it, connect 1, 2, 3, 4 passes out of the pressure area, and then be able to establish possession. Defended too much, and we just didn't have enough of the ball.
Going into this week, it's the final homestand of the year, but you are going to have to play another goalkeeper, at least for the first game against Michigan State, because of the red card for Maddie. What are the options there back in goal? What has the work been done back behind her throughout the year to be prepared with that next player up mentality?
Yeah, I mean, it's been competitive across our goalkeepers all year. All the goalkeepers have experience, whether it's in fall games or in spring games as well. So we have a lot of experience there. They're all trained the same way. They all take part within the team structure piece, and so, whichever one of the three we have to go with, then very, very confident.
I'm not sure if you've heard, but it is a mighty big week.
Oh, is it?
Here.
Is something going on around here?
It's mighty.
I thought it was just us.
Every fall sport is going to be at home, or every fall team sport is going to be at home this weekend. And your team has a ton of tests coming up, in particular against Michigan State coming up on Thursday. They're a talented opponent. They haven't lost yet this year. They're pretty good. The scouting report on the Spartans.
No, I mean, Jeff took over there a few years ago and has done an unbelievable job. They're athletic, they're aggressive in terms of how they play, aggressive in terms of, with and without the ball. Really talented kid up top. And they score lots of goals, and they've done that for the last couple of years. So, we welcome them into Eugene, and we want to make sure that we put our best foot forward, and we'll prepare for that this week.
It's the Pink game as well, coming up on Thursday at 6:30 against Michigan State. Pink game around women's sports always means so much here at the University of Oregon. An opportunity for your team to participate in that coming up this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an honor, all the different people who've dealt with the disease, and so we have people within our family, within our roster, and whose family members have dealt with it. We have people within the department, and we saw what happened with football on was it Friday when we played and stuff. And football did an exceptional job with it as well in terms of how they went about it. So we look forward to honoring those people.
It's a big weekend. Volleyball had Team Ollie 2 weeks back. Football with the Stomp Out Cancer, the Heroes uniforms on Friday. Your team getting involved on Thursday, but also coming up this week against Michigan on Sunday. It's Senior Day.
Yeah,
a chance for. First off, it feels like it's come so soon.
Yeah, it rolled around quick.
It's come quick the last week of the season, but this is a team that has been led by a lot of seniors as well. A chance to send off and appreciate some of the players that have stepped into this program and made an impact.
Yeah, I was joking with a couple of them the other day, saying it shouldn't be a big deal for most of them. It's their second senior day, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal for many of them. The emotion might not be as big because they've been through it before, but no. I mean, we got a lot of people who came into the program for the year, wanted to experience Oregon, wanted to experience something different, came from the East Coast and came from SEC schools and different conferences that way, and they've been awesome for us and got right into the whole Oregon spirit right away.
Now, what has that meant to you to bring players into this program in this transfer portal era and have them contribute for this season, help your team out, and then be able to be a part of their experience and send them on their way?
Yeah, I mean it's been different, right, with the transfer portal, because sure you saw us in December. You go, you log on and you've got that small window to bring people in and get to know them and try to figure out who they are, and they've got to try to figure out who we are as well, and go about that whole process. But no, the people who we've brought in have been awesome. I mean, they've been exceptional people, been really good soccer players, but even better people in terms of adding that value to our roster. And so maybe we want to send them off the right way on Sunday.
The goals, your team has been pretty strong at home this season. The goals in the final homestand of the year. How do you get it done? How do you get wins this weekend against talented teams?
Oh, well, we've got to be better with the ball, no doubt about it. We can't just be surviving without the ball. Once we get possession of the ball, got to, like we spoke about this a number of times, got to get the ball into their end of the field, keep it there. Whether it's by repressing the ball after we lose it, or by keeping possession, and then once we're in the final third, delivering good crosses, getting shots into the 18, from the outside the 18, inside the 18-yard box, and make sure we're threatening the goal.
One last chance for fans this year to get out at Pape Field, the jobs the fans have done all year, and a chance for them to see your team for a final time.
Yeah, I mean, we should have so many people in town, right? I don't think anybody can get a hotel in town. I was thinking about Airbnb in my house or something like that, so... you pay for the kids' Christmas presents. So no, it's again we've so appreciative of everyone in the community for this season and coming out and cheering us on. And we've put forth some good performances at home, and so come on out for one last weekend and get our team up for it.
What else should fans know? Pink game on Thursday, 6:30. Senior Day on Sunday at 1 o'clock. What else should fans know?
Well, just spend your entire weekend at this complex around here. There's everything to do, right? I mean, it's wheel out the RVs and all that stuff, and come enjoy Oregon athletics.
Coach Lanning said for fans going to the football game, once you come in the gates, start screaming and don't stop until you leave. I figure you're on the same.
Yeah, you can do that for us. I love it when we have a home football game because we got so many people around, and it's has a completely different vibe to it. Whenever football are away, it just always feels empty around here. So it's it's great when we get all these people in town.
Well, I'm really excited for your team to take the pitch at Pape for a final time this year. I'll be there. I hope that some of the fans get to see your team as well.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks for coming out, Coach Graeme Abel. We've got some more breaking down of what is going to be a mighty big week around the university when we return on Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Your daily dose of Oregon athletics. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
Put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says,
avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
I want you to know. I said I want you to know right now. You've been good to me, baby. Better than I've been to myself.
My thanks to Graeme Abel for joining us here on Duck Insider, brought to you by OnPoint Community Credit Union here in the Country Financial Studio. Also talking Oregon football as they got the 31-10 win over Michigan State on Friday. A big part, the running game. How about Jordan James? 24 carries, 166 yards, and a touchdown. Most of that came in the first half. Setting the tone, Jordan James, he spoke to the media post-game.
You've been waiting to break a couple. What did it feel like to break loose a few times and lead your team the way you did tonight?
It felt good. Like you said, I've been waiting to break those 20-plus yard runs, so, it felt good getting my knees up and getting up out of there.
You feel like this was the strongest game that you and the offensive line have had so far this season?
Most definitely. What my stats are just a reflection of their work up front, so they did a hell of a job today, and it showed.
How about a statement in the first Big Ten home game here at Autzen Stadium?
Yeah, most definitely. We definitely wanted to set the tone. Like we're not just some West Coast kids. Like we physical too. So.
What did you see from Dillon tonight and his ability to bounce back after kind of a rough start for him?
Yeah, he's tough as hell. I'm pretty sure he scored after he got put out of the game. So yeah, he's tough. That's just a tribute to his character.
Coach said you haven't.
Ohio State coming up. Just what are your thoughts on this coming week?
Oh, yeah, they're a good team. They're going to be the best team we face, so we'll be ready for them.
Are you excited for that game?
Most definitely.
When you guys are stressing the more explosive runs, more 20-plus, how did that 41-yarder feel in that moment?
It felt great. Like you said, I've been waiting to get one of those all year, so it felt great to finally get that going.
So that's a 1/20, but you got 6 of 10-plus on the night. Mm-hmm. That good enough to meet the goals for the week at least?
Yeah, most definitely.
I know you guys have talked about just how those first two games just really weren't up to your standard. Do you guys feel like you're playing up standard now heading into this next week?
Yeah, there's always room for improvement. We have a lot to improve, but we've been getting after that practice, so it shows on the field.
Coach said you have until about midnight to enjoy this win before you turn the page.
Yeah.
Is that the mindset?
Most definitely. We got to get prepared for the next opponent, man. We're gonna put this game to bed.
Big game for Jordan James, setting the tone against Michigan State, trying to do the same against Ohio State coming up this weekend, and what is going to be a mighty big week for Oregon. Almost everybody is at home this week. Volleyball on Wednesday, kicking it off against USC. Soccer on Thursday at 6:30 against Michigan State. Cross country on Friday at 11:15 at the Pine Ridge Golf Club. College game day at 6 a.m. at the Lillis Quad. Football at 4:30 against Ohio State. Volleyball and soccer on Sunday at 1 o'clock. Ducks vs. Dogs at Matthew Knight Arena. Senior day for Oregon soccer. So much is going down. Joey has you covered tomorrow. Go Ducks.
Ma, is this how you feed a hamster?
I think so.
Is my homework right?
I think so.
Is this milk still good?
I think so.
When it comes to parenting, sometimes it's okay